How's it going, fam? Welcome back to Erica's EDC, and today we're going to talk about belt knives. This is going to probably be a long-winded video, very enthusiastic, very nerdy. You guys know I love EDC belt knives. So today I wanted to go over my three main categories of belt knives that I use and why they work for me, what applications I use them for, and maybe it will inspire you, yes, you, to carry a fixed blade. I know this video has been done 1,000 times by everybody, but I guess I'm just gonna join the crowd, and I've been making these videos for years. But yeah, let's talk about my three categories of fixed blades. So for me, I have three categories of knives that are approximately, 6.5 to 7 inches long, give or take, and generally have like a 2.5 inch, 3 inch long blade. So my first category is the kind of thin, slicey, high performance knives. These knives generally have either a flat ground blade or maybe a slightly convex blade, but they have thinner stock, thinner BTE, behind the edge thickness, and they're very thin and slicey, I guess we'll say. As you can see, this knife is, 3/32 stock, 5 thou BTE, super thin and slicey. So this is not something that I would take to start a campfire and baton with, but this will process cardboard forever. I can cut rope over and over again. Tons of packaging. When I have the dog food deliveries, these will go through everything with ease. They can process game, but it's not something that I would want to, I guess, fully depend on for that, because these are so thin and slicey. I mean, look at this knife is dang near invisible. But these knives are really thin, really slicey, and this is the epitome of geometry cuts. These are knives where truly, if the apex dulls, the knife will keep cutting and slicing until you can sharpen it, because the geometry is so thin that it will still move through material without giving you too much hassle. So these knives are almost for like the lazy knife nerd, somebody that just wants to throw something on the belt, and it's very low maintenance because it's so thin. Now, obviously, all of this is subjective. All of it is personal opinion, but and it depends on the blade, steel, and the heat treat, whatever. This is all just very fun and generalized, okay? Another example in this category would be something like this, the Scrawny Lumberjack Vulture. This one's in 4V, but this is about as big as I would go for a belt knife. And this can definitely take some abuse, but it's thin behind the edge. This is a little more geared toward EDC tasks, I guess. But that's my first category. The second category is my hybrid middle category. These are knives that can handle thin and slicey tasks and hard use tasks, but they have maybe some odd blade shapes. Maybe they're just different, a little funky, a little unique, I guess. This is the BGM Knives Mini Spade. This knife has a really high blade, a very wide blade in this direction. This one is crazy good at slicing cardboard. It's double hollow ground, but can you beat on it? Yes. I mean, that's a pretty thick blade stock there. This one is just a powerhouse of a little knife, and it can kind of do everything. Same with the Duckhead Forge Slater. This is a little more refined. It looks kind of more like a hunting knife, I guess, but it's a little more slimline, a little more, I don't know, universal maybe compared to this one. But they're just kind of like the do-it-all knives. 10 to 20 thou BTE, can kind of handle anything you throw at them, but again, they're not like sharpened pry bars, I guess you would say. Also, I did not mention the names of these two. This is the Scrawny Lumberjack Splinter, and this is the Calton Cutlery Necker. And I think I said Scrawny Lumberjack Vulture. So that middle category is what most people are going to aim for. Just a utilitarian all-around knife that can handle literally anything you throw at it, but you're not going to want to like stab car doors with it, I guess. Yeah, kind of utilitarian, middle ground, do-it-all knife. My last category, as expected, most likely, is like the beater category. Now, I love these knives as much as I shit on some of them. I love these. So the beater category is my sharpened pry bar or just like really hard use category. This consists of knives that probably have a pretty thick blade stock, you know, 25, 30, 33 thou BTE, saber ground. They can be flat ground too, but these knives these are the ones that I'm gonna have on my belt when I'm doing outdoor tasks. These are literally like the multi-tools of the knife world. You can pry with these, you can baton with these, you can feather stick, you can do the camp cooking, but you can also process game, hit bone, nothing's gonna happen. Pry joints apart, pry frozen food apart. The turkey necks that I feed my dogs come in a 38-pound box frozen, and I have absolutely used my sharpened pry bars to pry those apart. Not the safest thing, but I wear gloves, no big deal. But my point is, the last category is just thick, stocky beater knives that also generally have a thicker handle for comfort. So these are knives where you shouldn't experience fatigue if you are using them for high impact tasks like batoning. So these are knives that are overbuilt. You can really do anything with these, and they shouldn't fail you. Like I said, I like to call these more so multi-tools of the knife world because it really generally is a sharpened pry bar. But they're a lot of fun to use. And like I said, these are the ones that you're gonna want for your camp tasks. Thick, beefy, ready to handle anything. This is the Northern Knifeworks Mink. We have, of course, the Essie Izula. And John from Heavyset Tactical made this 3-inch belt knife prototype that absolutely falls into this category. This thing's like 30, 33 thou BT, just a beater chunk of high hardness S45 VN. Love it. So those are kind of the main categories of knives that I use. The reason I enjoy carrying a belt knife is because it is, in my opinion, more reliable and easier to access than a folding knife. Now, that really depends on your lifestyle or your job or just your personal preference. For me, I think because I'm so active and I do so many, I live kind of a weird life, I guess. Belt clips are not always my best friend. I snag them on seat belts. The dogs pop them up out of my pocket. If I'm carrying boxes of dog food or gear or stuff for the house, I can't tell you how many times I've carried a box and popped the belt clip up out of my pocket. I love folding knives and I love pocket clips, but they just don't always suit me very well. So a knife on your belt is not gonna go anywhere. You know, you generally have a leather sheath or Kydex with a clip or a soft loop or something, but generally it's a leather sheath with a loop. It's not going anywhere. The knife is fit to the sheath. The only way that that's gonna fall out is if you're like upside down under a car or something, but generally we're not really doing acrobatics all over the place in our everyday life. So a belt knife is just the most reliable for me, and I guess also because I'm outside a lot and I just am active. When you're wearing gloves, you don't have to worry about opening that blade up and taking your glove off. It's just easier to get in and out. It's very like hassle-free, I guess, to wear a belt knife. You'll notice a lot of people when they work on ranches, or if you have a dog kennel or anything like that, a lot of people carry a belt knife because it's simply easier to access and to use. It's very hassle-free. So I really enjoy belt knives also because they don't have any moving parts, which completely takes away from dirt and grime getting stuck in the pivot, a belt clip coming loose, body screws coming loose, having to lubricate the knife, having to clean those moving parts. You don't have to do anything with these knives other than literally sharpen them. You know what I'm saying? Maybe clean them every once in a while. But they're very easy to maintain because there's not really anything to maintain, you know? And when you do a lot of tasks like maybe processing meat and game and such, and there's blood and juices, it's just so much easier to not have to worry about maneuvering a knife around those pieces of meat so that like blood doesn't get in the pivot. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to say that all folding knives are hard to clean or that you can't use them for hunting tasks. I'm just saying some of them are a little more finicky to get apart and put back together than others. But these are, you know, some of my favorite belt knives. I have so many of them, but I really do prefer carrying a, you know, 2.5, 3-inch long blade belt knife as opposed to anything else. It's my favorite type of knife to carry. I think they're just super easy to use. And I understand that a lot of people can't carry them and use them because of restrictions. I'm super lucky to live in New Hampshire where there are no knife laws. So I understand that a lot of people can't carry these in their day-to-day life because you're not even allowed to, whether it's concealed or not. I totally get that. This is literally, like I said, this is just a video kind of like nerding out about different categories of knives that I enjoy using, why they benefit my life more. They're just a lot of fun to use and very, very reliable, easy to clean. But these are some of my favorites. Also, real quick, I just want to, I think I'll move you guys for a quick second. It also helps to distribute the weight of your gear, because when you have a whole bunch of stuff in your pockets all the time, it can get kind of cumbersome. So even eliminating one piece of gear and putting it on your belt and having your body carry that as opposed to your pants makes life a little bit easier. So let me just lower you guys down for a second here. Generally speaking, I don't carry a ton these days, and I used to carry a whole bunch of stuff, like 2 pounds of gear, because I really did use it. Nowadays, I don't really carry much. Typically just have like a flashlight, a Swiss Army knife, and my wallet. My wallet's inside because I'm not going anywhere. But even just distributing this weight kind of around really helps, and you don't generally feel something on your belt if it's, you know, a small fixed blade like this. Right now I have a Swiss Army knife on my belt, but if I were to even have a knife in a belt sheath, you generally don't really even notice it there if it's a small knife and you have a well done sheath. And you know, when it's cold like today, and I'm wearing these waxed pants, these pants have zero give. This is waxed canvas, and there is zero stretch, I can promise you. So having my gear not in my pockets really helps, because I'm telling you, this flashlight being in here with the knife there is like all I can put in this pocket comfortably. Otherwise, I literally can't lift my leg because these have zero stretch, zero give. So if you're someone who wears pants like this, or just wears pants that don't accommodate a lot of gear in the pocket, belt sheath is the way to go. I'm telling you. Really handy. One other cool thing is you can get like, you know, different types of sheaths and stuff, and you can put them in your jacket. If you're outside a lot and you wear a jacket like this, you can have a sheath, like a taco style sheath like this, or a leather one like that. This one has wax all in it. And just put it in your jacket pocket, you know, then it's there when you need it. Put it in here. If you don't want it to fall out, you can put it in the chest pocket. But there are so many different ways to carry a fixed blade, even if you wear a vest. You guys see me wear that waxed canvas vest all the time. I put a fixed blade in there constantly, just to, like I said, distribute that weight of your gear throughout your body rather than just having it all in one pocket, the pocket that doesn't have your phone. You know what I'm saying? So if you've been on the fence about trying a fixed blade, I highly suggest that you just give it a shot. Get something small, get something that suits your lifestyle. If you're someone who generally just does package opening and box cutting and the occasional, you know, string being cut off of a shirt or something, maybe some plastic packaging, maybe think about getting kind of one of these thinner knives. The edge should last forever if it's done properly. You can strap it back easily, and that geometry, like I said, will cut forever, even when the knife starts to go dull. These are a really great option for just easygoing knives. If you want to be able to kind of do anything with your knife, that middle category is really good. You can get something that maybe has a blade stock thickness that accommodates that, or a steel that does, you know, you can kind of play around with geometry and steel and such, but these are really fun to just do everything. I really do think I could do dang near anything with this category of knife. I've batoned with them, I've processed game with them, I've done the box cutting with them. They generally, maybe sometimes, depending on the steel, need a little more touch up than the thinner category, but it's not that big of a deal. These are really great options. And then lastly, the beater. These are just the fun ones. These are just the ones where you can take these out in your backyard and just pummel the crap out of them, baton with them, cross baton with them, just beat them up and nothing happens. And if you work on a ranch or a blue collar job where maybe you do a little bit of poking and prying with your knives, the beater category, the sharpened pry bar category is really a lot of fun. So those were just some options that I've used, that I do use. Just kind of a nerdy video. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you enjoy carrying. Let me know if you're gonna pick up a belt knife. I will see you guys on the next video. Go use your shit. Learn how to sharpen your knives. I'll see you guys on the next video. I love you so much, fam. Take care.